What's good, people? It's Don here with another installment of the Hustle Podcast. I swear to God, I've recorded like 5 different videos trying to figure out what I'm trying to get across, and I just realized what I'm trying to get across. And basically, in this podcast, Hustle Podcast, we talk about business, entrepreneurship, investing, finance, working hard, working smart, being a person of integrity, etc. Capitalism. That's what we're talking about. And the reason why I wanted to talk about what I want to talk about in this podcast is because there's a lot of people out there that are going through a lot of shit, bro. Macro, micro, whatever it is. And my message to you, bro, is if I can improve my situation, you can too. And that's really what hustle is about. It's like, I want to give this information, bro, that has helped me out. And I want to do it from a perspective of somebody who's been through a lot of bullshit, bro. Because I know what works is what works, and that's important. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you give me information, let's say you came from a super rich background or whatever the fuck it is, but your information works, I will listen to it, bro. But where I'm coming from in this podcast and in this business, my music, my podcast, the clothing, whatever else we do, I'm coming at it from an angle of somebody who is not coming from a family of wealth, bro. Like, just to give y'all a background as to who I am and like why I believe so hard in business and entrepreneurship and learning this stuff and investing in finance and economics and capitalism is because I've seen what me learning those skills and that information and applying that information has done for me in my situation, bro. I've seen what it's done from the situation I've been through and where I'm at today. I'm doing better than I was before. And I'm like, bro, if I can do it, you can too. That's the message of this podcast, bro. So let me give you some context as to who I am. I was born in Colombia, Manizales, 1998. 2 parents. My mother had me my mother had my sister when she was 16. Had my brother when she was in her 20s and had me in her 20s. My parents both had us when they were in their 20s. They would move to the US. They would eventually bring us there. We lived in New Jersey for 2 years. My parents barely spoke English, barely had a college education. Really came from nothing. Didn't come from parents that had a whole lot of wealth. Grandmother had schizophrenia. We would find out my dad had bipolar later on, and I would have schizophrenia. But that came on later. We lived in the US. And I saw my parents work their asses off, move to North Carolina, end up buying a home. My dad built his business, construction business. I saw my mother work from making sandwiches at Subway to being an accountant for multiple Subways and multiple Dunkin' Donuts to having the opportunity to franchise her own Dunkin' Donuts. You know what I'm saying? And like, fucking being a realtor. My mother was a realtor, and I saw my parents achieve the American dream up to the point where they could. And then 2008 came, 2010 came, and all throughout that time, we were living there illegally. So I came from illegal immigration, third world country, teenage parents. We were living in the US illegally, illegal immigration, and my parents were like, holy fuck, we need to move. I don't condone illegal immigration. I'm actually very supportive of people stopping that shit, being somebody who came from that family of illegal immigration. And my parents ended up moving us to Canada, started all over, house foreclosed, and parents started at ground zero. My parents would split in the US, move to Canada, apply for refugee status, get denied refugee status. And then my parents would split again. My mother would raise us by herself for years, eating out of the food bank and all kinds of shit, bro. I've been to the fucking ringer, bro. I know it doesn't look like it. I wear this fucking jewelry. I'm sitting here in this fucking apartment, but I've been through some shit, bro. And I know I'm not the only one. So anyway, parents, divorced, mother raised us by herself for some years. Living in a 2-bedroom apartment with 4 people, going to the food bank, fucking barely being able to afford gas. I remember one day my mother stopped at the gas station And she was like, man, I can barely pay for this fucking gas. I don't think I have enough money to pay for this gas. And I was just like, holy fuck, we are poor. So I didn't grow up very privileged, bro. Even though I looked like I did, I didn't. And so eventually my mother would get with the Canadian guy. We would move in with him. I shitted away my last year of high school. I was a very good student, got depressed, was doing hip hop heads at the time, my first YouTube channel. And I built it up to 500 subs. We were getting thousands of views on our videos. And again, applying the things that I learned about starting a business, entrepreneurship, capitalism. And you know what I'm saying? Like, eventually we would move in, and then like I would get hospitalized 3 times in 3 years. I would get an assault charge. I'd get arrested twice. You know what I'm saying? Like, lose all my savings, catch an assault charge, all of this shit, bro. And so I'm telling you, bro, I've been through the fucking ringer. And as somebody who's been through the fucking ringer, I still believe in the system that we have here of capitalism, business, and entrepreneurship. Why? Because I've seen what's happened anytime I've applied those principles. Now, what do I mean by that? All while that's happening, all while my parents, illegal immigration, teenage parents, father with mental health issues, divorce, single motherhood, me dealing with mental health issues, court cases, all that shit. All throughout that time, I was an entrepreneur, a businessman, and I was starting businesses. And every time I would start a business, anytime I would apply myself to doing something, I saw results. I would build something that was really cool, that I was proud of, and I saw my life improve. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the main message, bro. Is like, if I was able to go through all that shit and still start 5 businesses, and still at this point, I'm at 26 years old, go through what I just been through with my last hospitalization and assault charge and losing all my savings. And I'm still at the point where I'm like, bro, I believe in this shit because I've seen myself improve applying the principles that I've learned. You can too. And so what is it that I've learned over the past few years that I want to impart on people? And really, and not only in the past few years, but just overall in my experience of starting businesses all throughout that tumultuous time, is the fact that capitalism works, bro. And not only does it work, but if you apply it, you can apply it and you can improve your life too, bro. Hustling works, business works, investing works, finance works, economics works. That's the main message, bro. And so some of the ways that I've been able to get ahead has been starting businesses. Some of the ways I've been able to get ahead is by investing. Some of the ways I've been able to get ahead is by getting control of my personal finances. Some of the ways I've been able to get ahead is through working hard. Because all throughout that tumultuous time, I've still been able to save money, start businesses, invest, and live, do better than I was before. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the main message, bro. And so, especially over the past 2.5 years, with the inflation and the interest rates and the COVID, I went through all that shit just like everybody else did, working a minimum wage job. I was working, skip the dishes. I was fucking $15K in credit card debt. And I was still able to pay off my debt, save money, invest, buy a new car, get into a relationship. You know what I'm saying? And just be in a better situation, bro. That's kind of where I'm at now. I haven't made it, but I've seen myself improve my situation every time I've applied the principles of capitalism, bro. And so that's the key, man. Like, learn this shit, apply it, and you will improve your life. And so I want to take y'all through some examples, bro, of like some of the businesses that I've started and some of the principles that I've learned. And so that's what I want to talk about. So some of the things that I've, maybe not even the businesses that I've started, but some of the principles that I've learned all throughout that time is like, man, like, yeah, like so much shit. There's so much to learn and so much to disseminate. So much is each one is a podcast in itself. But what I'm saying, bro, is the main message in this podcast is if I can do it, if I can go through all that shit and even just have the belief in the system, bro, even believe that I can still improve the life of myself and the people around me. If I can go through all that shit, illegal immigration, parents divorced, dad with mental health issues, fucking mental health issues myself, hospitalizations, court cases, and I can still say to this point that I believe and can improve the life of myself and the people around me through hustling, you know what I'm saying? Through hustling, then you can too. That's the main message of this podcast, bro. If I can go through all that shit and still do better and believe that I can do better, even just the belief that I can do better, bro. That's what it's about. Do you believe? Do you believe that you can do better? Because some people don't believe that they can do better. Some people believe that they're stuck in their situation, that, oh no, I'm not a billionaire and the billionaires are taxing me, or the government's whatever, and the billionaires and blah, 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 and whatever the fuck people believe that think that they can't get better. If you can just believe, bro, that you can do better, if you can just dream and believe that you can do better, bro, I promise you're gonna do better than somebody who, I don't know. You will do better, bro. You will improve. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I want to say. If I can do this, if I can improve my situation, learning and applying the things that I'm talking about in this podcast, then you can too. And I'm just giving you all context as to where I'm coming from. So that's what it's about. That's what it is, bro. If I can learn these things and improve my life, you can too. There's no excuse. Peace.